Meeting to order. And ask you to rise with us for prayer and pledge of
Yeah, I think that's what she's saying.
Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for waking us up and giving us one more day on this planet, Lord. Thank you for that. Lord, we thank you for our community in this township, Lord. Thank you for blessing us with placing us here to live. Thank you for our neighbors. And, Lord, it's just such a great community to be in. Lord, we thank you for giving us this opportunity to serve the public. Lord, I just pray that we make wise decisions and that we are an asset to our neighbors and to the community here. Lord, we pray for our firefighters and the law enforcement, the first responders. Lord, I passed a little accident on the way, and it reminded me that how important they are and what a blessing they are to us. They put themselves in harm's way out on the roads and highways. So, Lord, we just pray for protection over them, and Lord, we just thank you for them. Lord, we just pray for our meeting tonight. I just pray that we would go through each item thoughtfully and that we would make good decisions tonight. All this I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're going to the consent agenda. We got approval of the minutes, accounts payable, and the clerk's conference request.
I make a motion, we approve. I had a couple of questions, but Peg kind of answered them. Mine was on the computers, but it's every 5 years, you replace 1/3 of them. It's in our 2026 budget plan, right?
Right, yeah. Last year, we only had a couple of new ones that we had to get because the other ones had gone, but these were all 5-year computer, that had been in our office for 5 years, so.
We need support.
I'll support.
Got a motion and support. Is there any other discussion? Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're going to new business. We got the burn ordinance request from the fire department. Want to adjust this burning thing here a little bit. I don't know if Marty, if you want to talk about this thing a little bit. It's kind of self-explanatory.
Are there commercial areas that are burning
There's a
lot?
few that this would make them readjust their areas where they burn, yes.
Which ones are those?
Right off the top of my head, the Hammer would be one.
Yeah, along the highway there, you mean?
Yeah. They burn right behind that couple's house.
Right.
And it was like 200 feet. And
It's
the wind
frequent.
generally goes that direction, and yeah.
Right.
I was sitting in their driveway and their house was getting pounded by smoke.
When was that?
Last week, what, Monday, Tuesday?
Every other day.
Well, I was saying what day was I there last week?
Are you the neighbors?
Yeah.
My name's Madeline Gearling. We've had issues, and we've been here before, addressing certain issues with the landscapers behind us.
Yep.
They bring in extreme amounts of waste onto the property. They dump it there, for which it's pallets, trees, brush, anything pulled out of any job place that they go to, which in turn, they turn it into a giant, huge pile and start burning it in our backyard. It's actually in our backyard. We have ash, soot, smoke from just their fires that they burn. That's not including what they've done to the land back there. They've stripped the land back there. It's all sand. It turns into a dust bowl whenever it gets windy. They have 30 trucks and trailers that drive through there back and forth. Big dump trucks coming in and out of there. Their cedar truck. They bought this land, these two homes, and separated that property. And now we can't do anything. They don't have to do anything because it's considered a non-conforming property, building, whatever. But they can still continue to bring in cargo containers and attach it to that building. It's very emotional for me. It's created a burden on my heart. It's my home. It's my home. So, yes, they need to stop burning at least back there. They need to stop turning it into a dump and pushing it down the hill in whatever they can't burn, they push it down the hill into the creek. So that's all I have to say about that.
We haven't opened our windows in 2 years.
Do you think this 500-foot thing would help you? Do you think the 500-foot thing, if we made them 500 feet from any residence?
And we'll put it behind their office building.
Yeah.
Put it right behind my house.
That's kind
Yeah.
of where they have to.
I was gonna say, didn't we change that?
We didn't.
No.
We
We
tried.
looked at that last
We
year.
tried, and we got some
Okay.
pushback, so then it
What's
fell
that?
apart.
We tried to change this
stop
last
burning
year
it.
because of some of the fires, and not just with this
What did we try
particular
to change again?
business.
Did you give them a violation for the fire?
For what?
'Cause
They can burn if they pull a burn permit.
right, but it's supposed to be done at the end of the day, the fire.
We never got any calls that it wasn't that it was burning at night.
Does it smolder all night?
Does it?
Now,
Or
I will,
not?
so they called Monday or Tuesday, I don't remember what day it was, but I went over there and I told the hammer to put it out and they put it out. But then 6 a.m. the next morning, they pull a burn permit and they burn all day because they have a huge pile and they can't light
It's
it all
more
up.
than a
So
huge
they burn little
pile.
by little. And they just keep feeding it. And anyway, I
Well,
digress.
is the intent of the permission to burn, and this is just a question, for off-site product? To me, it's for the
Well-
guy that clears the trees or has some rubble to clean up, but.
But
Right.
Jay, this is exactly what we
Yeah.
talked about
So I
last
don't
time. and
recall
you-
that detail, but
Right.
Yeah,
That's the exact thing I said. I go, I don't agree that these commercial landscapers or businesses in general can bring all this product from the other townships and municipalities that they're clearing and then burn it in our township and affect our residents. That's what I was trying to get rid
And
of.
we couldn't get that through, but.
Well, we worked
We never
on it,
came
but
to a
then,
vote.
Mike come and explained what he does,
Like,
Bauman.
Oh,
yeah.
And what he does, he gets brings stuff in, but burns in the winter. And Mike is quite a bit more isolated,
Yeah, and he does it
So-
smarter.
He's much smarter, but, the ordinance don't,
No rules are ever
Address
wrote for the smart
common
person,
sense.
so, yeah.
but even for him though, he's probably more than that 500 minimum clearance.
Yeah,
So
it
he's
won't
looking
affect-
at
We
That's
measured
what-
a few places. We didn't measure his.
yeah.
What places did you measure?
Well, the hammer for one, they would have to find somewhere different to burn it.
On their property or?
They could if they went all the way over to behind their buildings to the east.
Would that
Which
affect
is
another
better,
neighbor? Would that affect
It,
another
it
neighbor?
may, but
Yeah.
it would be more than 500. It would be 500 from a house. But we measured Chuck's where they burn is within it's farther than that 500. We checked
Bromo.
Bromo.
Yeah.
They would be fine.
They're much,
Well,
No,
them
and
guys-
they're much more or less
And they're out
isolated.
in
Their guys
the
are in
middle
the
of the
RA
fields,
zone.
More
yes.
isolated, what's that?
They're out in the RA zone.
Now, there's a
Which
few,
makes
we
a
have a
lot of
few
difference.
that are in industrial zones that wouldn't be able to burn at all that still do.
Who is that?
Snellers, diversified excavating.
Diverse
that?
scope.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Diversco, yeah.
Do they burn out there, Diversco?
Occasionally, yes, they will pull a burn permit. Sneller does still, occasionally.
What if we made it
Superior.
500 feet
Well-
to a residential?
That's kind of,
Right.
Then
kind of what
This
this
is-
is.
Diversco, that would take them out because there's nothing residential there.
Oh, they are, north and south and east of them are pretty close to that.
Are they pretty-
Byron Gardens ain't far away. Maybe it's over 500, but it's close.
But this is 500 feet from any other property there, buildings.
Owned by a different party.
If it's owned by somebody else, so if Sneller's got somebody within 500 feet of different business, that would rule them out for burning. And we're trying to get the burning out of industrial, where the hammer is basically in residential. Kind of got grandfathered in years and years ago as a nursery, which nursery, you know, was growing a lot of stuff. Now these guys have some nursery stock, comes in on a truck and they plant it, and maybe they have it for
That's
2,
not
3
really a
months.
nursery.
It ain't really like growing a whole bunch of
No.
plants.
Plant one is
Right, plant
their
one.
nursery. They family split up kind of. I
No,
think.
for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about when Brian, or Ben and Marty was in the other day, it says a couple of things you could do. You can try the 500 foot. We could also restrict them to make it just allow burning in the RA zone, landscaping outfits that we have. The ones in the RA zones basically got the room, and we haven't gotten any complaints on those. The hammer's in a bad spot. You know, it's all
Well,
residential.
they kind of wedged
around
it in there.
They wedged it in there, and they keep buying more and more of these residential properties. And then they either rent the house out by the road, but they take the back property over. So it's growing there, and they really need to, be nice if we could get them out of there somewhere where they got 20, 30 acres.
I just think in the big picture, it needs to be addressed, because we had
Yeah.
the same
Well-
conversation last year, and it wasn't just,
Right.
What
No, it was
the
a
only thing that we
bigger
adjusted
situation.
last year was we restricted excavators from being able to clear land and burn.
Right.
They can't do
Yeah.
that. That's,
Okay.
So we stopped
Well,
that.
I just struggle with, if you have a site and no one's complaining, and you're bringing debris from somewhere else and burning, and there's 0 complaints, and you're doing it intelligently, I just don't, a rule is never wrote for that situation. It's wrote for the person abusing it,
Right.
right?
That's why
And
if we
it
did,
traps everybody else in it,
if we restricted it to allowing it only in RA,
and try it out.
try it out, then Chuck's would be okay, Promo would be okay.
Balmer would be okay.
Balmer would be okay. These guys that are out in the country.
Is that
with
how
some
this
road-
is written? I didn't
this one
know.
is
No.
not. We could
We couldn't add
amend it
that.
and put
Let's
RA
amend
I
in
would
it.
rather take little steps if this takes care of their situation.
If we-
You know, and
Well, this is a little step, but what
This
you
is a
would
little
be
step.
adding another step, which I would be in favor of.
But we could be pushing this down to the neighbor that's not affected right
Yeah,
now.
I
Yeah.
would rather add R,
A.
or, that
Make
it's
it-
only allowed in RA
Yeah.
and 500. That would be a good,
Yeah. Then
without
two
restricting
things.
it all
And
together.
after our last conversation, I called the Hammer and I said, you guys are gonna be done if you don't clean up your act. Obviously, they didn't.
No, they don't listen to it.
And I'll make another call to them and say, you know what? You're one step away. You caused this ordinance to change, and you're one step away from being done. Because we could easily say no burning for landscaper.
if we
and
change
commercial.
it, they
I
won't be
actually
able to
support
burn.
that.
I think we are done with it.
Yeah.
I'm
So we're
not
not
gonna be
even.
done.
But are you gonna go 500 feet?
I would like to go 500 feet in RA.
I would be in
Next-
favor of
The
that.
next step is no burning in RA.
Well, if it's abused.
If we have a problem with
Yeah.
them.
But I think that's what we
But
told
I don't
it.
like to penalize
Because
them
it
guys
isn't our
that are out
trash.
in the RA,
Yeah.
you know.
What is that? What is that zoning over there?
RR.
RR.
So it's residential.
So they wouldn't be able to burn. They'd have to figure something out.
They could do
What's that?
something else.
Oh, so we're gonna say no burning, or we're gonna say the 500?
I'm gonna
foot
make a
rule?
proposal that can get kicked down, but my proposal is accept the amendment as is plus restricted to RA.
I would support that.
And the next step, if it doesn't clean up, is total ban.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll make that phone call to them.
Well, I think there'd be, if we
They're
do
done.
this at RA, they
Well, I
are
thought
very
you said
done.
that they could move 500 feet away.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then
but
if
they're
they
not
put-
RA.
What's that?
They're not in RA, so they won't
not
be
in
able to
RA.
burn.
Oh, I see.
And they're a non-conforming.
Yeah.
So
I have
this
no problem with
motion, is that a motion, Jay?
I made the motion.
Okay, so the motion is gonna be, you can only burn, landscapers can only burn if you're in the RA zone.
And
And you must be 500
500
feet from another structure.
I think that's
Right.
fair.
I do too.
So that,
But
the
it's not
hammer
meant
would
to
be done
used in
burning
small tight
today.
areas.
You shouldn't be burning in RR.
Yeah,
I
because-
mean,
I called them, I warned them.
Yeah, these
So-
two people come now, but they've been living with it.
Yep.
And other people are living with it that ain't complaining, but who
And
would
they
want
could
that?
have, the hammer could have burned in that area and not affect these people.
If they was careful,
Smart
if
and-
they were smart.
And if they would have been conscientious, there's a way to do it, and they wouldn't affect them. And I
Yeah.
told them that,
Yeah.
so.
Well, that's my motion if it gets
And we
support.
got
support it.
support, we got motion and support. So this thing would change to strictly an RA
Your
zone.
smoke would end in your neighborhood.
That would
won't
end it for you.
everywhere. If this happens, it ain't been voted on yet.
Yeah, so that would get us to RA zone only, and it would be 500 foot. If you're in the RA and you choose to burn, you must be 500 feet
For a commercial operation.
for landscape.
Yeah, don't just say,
Yeah, for
It's
landscape.
the rest
And
of
it
your
says
sentence there.
commercial.
yeah.
Yeah, any commercial thing. So the wording for the first part is okay, we're just adding the RA zone only. That would be allowed to burn. I think that's gonna fix it. It's a huge step at least towards fixing it.
Because we're not, could we take away the 500 in RA?
I don't know
Because
if
we
it'll
don't have
matter,
a-
but it would be
I don't
nice
know
to
if
just
that would
It
keep
would
it.
matter.
probably be good to keep it just in the off chance that,
Other than we don't have any issues with it, so why
It won't
penalize
even-
them?
It won't even come up until it's a problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
The rule will be there, but no one will know until it's a problem.
Yeah, I would just keep it in there, and if it becomes an issue, you address it with them, and you gotta move your pile somewhere.
Yeah, I think right now it won't affect any of them I can think of that are in RA, but if somebody would, well, now if you start up and wanna come to planning commission and you're gonna do a landscaping business, you're forced into industrial. They won't allow landscaping anymore in the special use in RA. Cause it started out being nurseries. Well, nurseries needs 20 acres to grow all the plants and whatever. It's more of a farming activity. Now they've gone basically landscaping, and I know Baumas don't do it anymore, but you got all the snow plowing and all that goes with it. And it's a lot of traffic, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, all that stuff for plowing snow. So it's getting to be more of a commercial thing more than a nursery business.
That's why Jack's Lawn Service moved from where they were to
Jack has
an
gone to
industrial park,
industrial,
which is perfect for them.
yeah.
And the high school kid that turns in, that has a starts a landscape company, I think you can still shoehorn that in because you're storing equipment at home. One employee, I think up to one
If
employee.
they start out as a home occupation and we can control it as a home occupation, I think that would work.
Yeah,
But once it starts getting bigger, now if you wanna grow, you gotta find a spot in industrial.
right. But the kid,
I don't wanna kill a kid trying to start
yeah, a
out.
kid could still park his truck and a
Yeah,
trailer and mower.
and a couple mowers, yeah,
You
no
know,
hurt.
at his parents' house
Yeah.
with one employee.
Yeah.
So
I think that way,
9 out of 10 times it'll never be an issue until someone abuses it.
right.
yeah. Then we can look at, I think that'd be a good thing. Any other discussion? We got a motion in support?
So this will become a resolution, just so you know.
This says a
But I
resolution.
didn't have that all set, so
Right.
now I will have the resolution on the tail end, so,
Okay,
yep. Just a comment.
so let's do a roll call vote.
Amos,
Yes,
Peggy, yes. Becky,
yes.
Jay, Marty,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
hopefully that'll help you. And we're watching the rest of the stuff going on there. We're working on that, you know. I mean, we got cars parked in the front yards, and I think they got that straightened out a little bit, but,
And Jeff,
we
our
know
zoning administrator's been working on the other things that,
Since sold those 2 residents that they purchased.
they got the land in the back, that they sold
Land grab.
the house,
yeah.
yeah. It's
Is there
kind
an
of,
ordinance stating for lighting, because like you mentioned, they have how many vehicles at 2, 3 in the morning snow plows? All their headlights right into my slider. Yeah. And they don't care, they start it, they let it warm up for a half hour, and then all bleeds right into my home.
yeah,
They then, oh, let's put up privacy green wall, they put little shrubs, 5 of them, and that doesn't help anything.
Yeah,
I'll make a
Well-
note of that for Jeff,
we'll write that down and
Yeah.
contact them on that.
because they're working
They-
on the special use.
They're gonna have to suck it up and be a little more aware of where they are if they're gonna keep operating, because we're gonna end up shutting this thing off.
Because you have provisions for commercial properties that there has to be screen walls and fencing.
There's a lot of rules,
Right,
yeah,
and they're not complying with that.
yeah.
No, they have to.
Well, it's a thing that started there years and years ago, and it's
Temporary, yeah.
growed and growed and growed, and now it's becoming an issue, you know? So, yeah, we're aware of your,
Thank you for hearing us.
yeah, sure, sure,
Only took a few years.
yeah. Well, it's a slow process, but we try to, you know, make sense out of this stuff. Okay, we're going to community center. I got the camera proposals.
Is this part of the conversation we had with the 2026 budget? It's all in line?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we thought it was gonna be quite a bit more money. We put quite a bit
Yeah.
more in. I think we had a guesstimate, well, I don't know where that number come from. We started at
Just a guess.
70,000.
Yeah.
And I think we're down to like 16 or 18,000.
EPS is quite a bit cheaper.
Yeah, it was. We
Well,
did the-
I don't think we ever had a bid for 70,000.
No, we didn't. It was just a.
It was just
it was
put
just
in,
an
plugged in as a
estimate.
number, but
But they're cheaper than Bison.
Yeah, they are.
they are cheaper.
That was
than-
in our rec department budget, right?
Correct. And then one of the cameras will get reimbursed. That's why there were the 2 quotes that I had mentioned in there.
So EPS is the one you've chosen, right?
Yep, that's the
Okay.
one that we're recommending,
Okay.
which is the same system that we have here at the township. So we'll be able to work together to monitor.
So it'll all be compatible and everything? All right.
I'll make a motion, we accept the EPS budget.
Or,
Got motion and support, is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Township audit proposal, we're looking to change auditors. I don't know if there's any questions you have on this.
Why? You're not liking them, or? That's the guys that do our financial reviews?
Right.
usually,
Well,
most townships change, reevaluate every 3 years, so it's
Yeah.
not out of the
No,
ordinary.
just asking
to-
why.
Yeah.
Did we get quotes for others or something, or
Well,
what drove it, I guess?
I think that one of the things that drove it is not responsive to our needs. Bill has been trying to contact them and they don't respond back, and
Well, didn't our guy change too? The guy
right.
that-
yeah, the guy, that good guy we liked, left. And
The older guy?
Younger.
Younger one?
what was that guy?
Will.
Will, yeah, Will
See the one
left.
who would do all the talking?
And we emailed them and they don't respond, and Bill wasn't very happy with the whole program, so. Doug, who is our CPA kind of guy, he's helping this younger company get started, so he's gonna be part of it. So that's where we wanna go to.
You don't think we should get some quotes, or? I'm just asking questions. I don't,
The-
I
the
mean, I hate
problem
to go to a
is-
new company that don't know nothing. and
When we
they're-
got the quotes, when we went with Brickley DeLong,
Oh, you
it was
did?
the same problem. It's hard to get quotes because they don't have the staff. You don't see kids going into
So what's the
becoming
experience
auditors,
of the
so.
new company then? What's the depth?
It's Doug.
It's
Yeah.
Doug
Right.
that done ours for years.
But then
our
it's called,
CPA.
it's Morgan and Associates, so they
Isn't-
have.
He's
So
helping this
Doug
new-
is starting a new company?
He's
He's,
helping start.
yes, right.
He's helping to start a new one, so he's working with them. So he's recommended them, and he's gonna work with them. He'll be
So our
in the
So it'll be
CPA
Doug and then.
Our hired
2 other people.
CPA is gonna be also the auditor?
But we don't use him now as
Yeah,
our
we don't use him.
Or
CPA.
just a
Yeah.
consultant.
Okay.
And he does quite a few other municipalities.
I'm just
so,
asking the
yeah.
questions
No, we
for our own
haven't,
coverage
but
is
yeah,
all.
we haven't been
They're
using
not a tax, they're
Doug.
just,
I
Right.
would be
Doug.
very comfortable with going with him as
Yeah.
our auditor,
Alright.
just because he has so
I
much
think he's super
experience.
good, I'm just
in-
making sure
in
our
it,
checks and
yeah.
balances are.
Yeah, right.
aligned.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have if we were still using Doug, but we haven't
Yeah.
used him for the
If
last
it
few
was
Since
just
we
the
hired Bill,
recommendation
right?
of Morgan
Yeah.
and
I like
Associates,
Doug.
I would say
Yeah.
no,
Don't
but
get me wrong.
knowing that Doug is leading this, then I would be.
I like
comfortable
Doug, I
with
just wanna
that.
make sure we
Yeah.
had our
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
both sides covered. Budget-wise, similar, or?
Yeah, because each year with Brickley DeLong, we'd end up having to do extra forms that would not be part of the
And they
budget,
build
so.
out accordingly.
Mhm,
like
right, yep.
Your lawyer, CPA. Well, I make a proposal, we go to the new auditors. Support.
Got a motion and support, is there any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Then we get to the parks and utility tractor proposals, did you see those, the bids?
I glanced over them, Amos. I figured you had one in play.
We had bids, here's the problem with doing tractor bids. It's like a new car bid. You can't get two different companies that offer exactly the same thing. One has got this standard equipment, one don't offer this. So John Deere that we have is a 3032, which means it's a 30-horse tractor. And that works good in the park and what we do at the dump, and it works at the cemetery. So that's what they kind of wanted. So I tried pricing Ford, which is New Holland at Burnups. And I got a price from Scott from Kubota. And he sent it out to Sourcewell, if that's what, I don't know if you've seen the bid. Sourcewell is the name, but it's actually from Kubota. And they have a 26-horse tractor, which is a little less than we want. We didn't want to go any lighter. And then they go to 36 horse. So that being 6 more horse, the tractor gets bigger, the tractor gets heavier, it can do more. So obviously the price is more because you can't compare apples to apples. So I'm not saying that their bids are bad.
Right.
It's just they don't offer a 30-horse tractor, so the closest they can come is 36. If you buy a 36, you get heavier hydraulics, you get all that stuff. But the guys feel they're comfortable with the one we're using, and then everything will match. The buckets will match. The
This
forks
is bigger
match.
than the one that does the sidewalks?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's bigger than that.
I probably asked this last time, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
I feel we're gonna need redundancy on our sidewalks, and I thought,
Yeah.
and they're getting more walks, and some aren't even being plowed yet, we just haven't discussed it.
Yeah.
And I thought, again, would that size tractor do it? They're trying to do grading up the diamonds and stuff, you know what I mean? That's
Oh,
all.
yeah. Yeah.
The one that's
Well,
in
they're
the
doing
walks.
it with a Kubota side-by-side thing now, or the Gator. And they do it with a Gator, and they just pulls the guts out of the
Right.
Gator. It's too
Right.
small.
Yeah, it's not a tractor. So back to my question. If this is too big for sidewalks, would the one doing sidewalks be big enough to do what they're trying to do in the parks? Because it'd be nice to have the redundancy, that's what I'm saying.
Right. Well, with the Little League, one of the things at the end goal of this, first, this one will be big enough and then have a bucket on that they can fix the ball diamonds. Little League is willing to go in if we buy this type of tractor. I talked to Rick the other day, and I showed him all the bids and everything. And I said, what do you want to do? He said, I like the size that we got at the cemetery. And then they, Little League probably will help buy it. But Little League is not in a position, they're not in the financial part of their meetings. They don't meet till fall to look at what money they have available. But they will chip in. Now, there's one thing that they want with this, other than the forks for it. Rick would like, they call it a grader, but it's a scraper thing. Similar, like if you go to a tractor pull or a horse pull,
Yeah,
they
I know
got
what
the
they
tractor
are.
fly
A land
backward.
leveler.
A land leveler type thing. There's a place in Holland that makes them, and I didn't get a chance to look, but I thought when I looked it up, they was in the like $700 to $1,000
And Little
range.
League would like that option.
They would like that, to have that, so then they could grade the ball diamonds maybe only once every
Would
week
they
or
commit to
two.
buying that?
Well, I think they'll commit to helping. Whether or not they can actually today say, okay, we'll buy that part. They're willing to help us. And if we could get them to buy that part today, I'm not sure. But
Historically, they should have money.
So then I
historically,
would
they
say,
got the
let's work
money.
on the tractor.
I
If they
would
want
say
the
we-
grader, let them go buy the grader.
Well, that's where I'm kind of at.
Yeah.
You know, and they might chip in some for the tractor also. So,
And this fits in with the budget we had? I don't remember the numbers.
Yeah, we
but-
put 27,000 in the budget for a tractor. So the tractor with the bucket and the forks would come to, I don't
So
remember
the
what
other
it was,
two, you'd
27.
have to pay extra for the forks, right?
We'd have to
Right.
buy
That's what I
extra
said.
for,
Yeah, I
yeah,
had
you'd
that
have,
plus
yeah, that's another
Green Mark is the
1,800
only one
bucks.
that has everything with the forks and it's within the budget.
Do we have
Yeah.
forks for the current John Deere?
Yeah. Yeah, that's, at the cemetery, there's a set of forks there. These forks, the problem is with the forks, they're too heavy to just pick up and throw in the pickup and move from one place to another. So if we had one set, then we're back and forth still chasing after them. And this set is longer than the other ones. And they use them at the cemetery to unload foundations. And then in the parks, whenever something comes that's on the pallets or whatever, moving picnic tables, all that stuff, they do that all with the forks. To pick up tables and move them around and whatever else they gotta move. So it's, I think it was $1,500 to get the forks for it. So it's a little bit at the beginning, but in the long run, you know, you get it back because it's just that much more convenient. And one of the things is that going up and down the roads, 76th Street and Flight Park with these tractors, is not all that safe anymore, you know. When we were kids, there was tractors everywhere around here. Now, you go down 76th
Yeah,
Street with a tractor.
Yeah, I don't need it justified. You did that last winter. I mean,
Yeah,
we just asked to get bids on it.
Yeah.
So I make a motion, we approve the purchase of the John Deere tractor.
I'll support it.
got motion and support. Is there any other discussion on this? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and then the parks and the cemetery, the maintenance things would be the building at Whistle Stop is like 6,000, a little over 6,000 bucks for
Was it?
a shingled roof. And I asked different people, Crystal, different ones involved with the park. The steel one is 13,000, just double. You know, it's about double. But they like it that it matches. Ben says if you put that on there, it'll, you know, that lasts us a long time. And Ben says for the looks, he says it's up to you guys. He says 30-year shingles is pretty good. But he says if they want it to match and look, fit in the park, you know, Crystal says for that, we'd like to do the steel roof.
What did we didn't really, what did we, this is in a global budget, or what, do we have a line item guess on this?
It wasn't.
No, I got
On
it.
that
in
green,
my-
on that sheet of gold?
You got one of them sheets?
Yeah.
I got it on my desk. I can go grab it a second. I don't remember what we
Hey,
put
sure,
down.
Peggy can pull it up.
Yeah, I think I can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
keep talking.
the ones that bid this, they come and looked at the library also,
Complete?
complete. And he said, you know, the library has been pretty well maintained. Who's ever been fixing it has done a good job. He says,
That one's done, isn't it? Or-
yeah, he says, I wouldn't do anything, you know, I think they can get 5 more years. And he says, it's stupid of me to say that, because he said, I could put a new roof on for you. But, you know, he says, we don't operate that way, so I think you can get 5 more years out of this.
They're our best roofer.
So, yeah, I really like them guys.
For
I got to
metal,
know
they're
'em.
cheaper than everybody, so.
Yeah, I got to know them guys a little bit. And, you know, some of this stuff like this little building down here is $4,600. And I talked to Ben about that the other day, and he says, you know, he says, these little projects like this, he says, if you get less than $10,000 projects, he said, these guys do $50,000, $100,000 jobs. He says, they don't want to monkey with this
Gotta
stuff.
find some little,
So he says, if you get somebody good that does a good job, he says, you got to give them the repeat work. He says, build a relationship. And he says, they're trying to bid all this little
This was a-
stuff. You know? So this proposal here includes the steel roof on the pavilion. I mean to talk away from you guys, but you know this pretty good.
I can hear you.
Okay, the steel roof at the pavilion, they're fixing the bottom of this building down here that he's gonna put a couple foot on the bottom, fix that up. And it's Weiniger Cemetery, putting a roof on, putting a door on, a new door, and then blast it and sandblast, not sandblast it, but maybe power wash it and paint it. Then that building.
What goes in that building?
Basically, right now, the main thing we put in there is the snow plows. So it's not a highly used building, but it's great for that we leave the plows in there. In the winter, we get the plows out and some of the summer stuff goes in there that they don't gonna use all summer, and I know what all that involves. But it's not actually a building that we couldn't live without. But on the other hand, it's standing there, and that building is in very good shape.
It has great walls and great floor.
It's
I
great
just
walls and a
question
great
investing
floor.
into it, and why not investing into something right next to us?
Well,
Location, location, location.
Yeah,
You're
let's
paying
do a-
people to drive, and you're paying people
Let's
to
do
go back
a
and forth.
lean-to over here.
huh?
Let's do a lean-to
I'd rather price a
over.
lean-to and then later close it in or something, and
Well,
I don't support spending money on a building that we're not by or monitoring.
yeah. Well,
We just bought
personally,
another
it's a-
we
it's-
just bought another tractor because it's a pain going back and forth.
yeah.
And this is
But-
even farther away.
But like the snow plows, you drive the truck over there with a plow on and get it in the building and hook
So
it, so it ain't like it's, you know, you ain't going there
You don't
every
even
week.
support it for snowplows. All the businesses around here, plows are sitting outdoors. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I looked in the building, I went and looked, and I thought, it's a beautiful floor, it's perfect
Yeah.
walls.
Yeah.
But we're investing
Yeah,
into something
It
that
doesn't
isn't
fit.
even near us.
Doesn't
and
fit
is-
our program.
And holding stuff that most of us don't even put inside, because it doesn't value it.
right. Well, if we're gonna add on to one of these buildings, I'd be for that. It would be the garage at Whistle Stop. Okay, put a piece onto that, on the
Off the
back.
back.
But it
Off
could
the
be
back.
just a lean-to at first.
Well, we want it enclosed, because if they get this tractor, they're getting pretty crowded in there. So I'd want it enclosed, whatever we did.
We're
but they're
crowded
not
in
gonna
there.
park
That's a
the
different
tractor at-
conversation, though. We're not parking the tractor over here, so I'm just trying to put all that together.
Yeah,
Weingarter, on face value, it's sad that the floor and the walls are that good, because you gotta pay to tear it down. But we're also paying people to run back and forth, and we have a building that's not monitored by anybody. That bothers me. It's like, I would rather say, let's do this in phases. You know, when we were buying the tractor a few minutes ago, we didn't need storage for it, so that, to me, isn't an
Right.
argument.
right.
But, you know, could we put a roof up this year, and then next year maybe, hey, what's it take to enclose it or something? And just kind of make it work, but
Yeah.
I'm not a big supporter, I'm not anti doing the building, I'm just saying, is it
Right.
the best long-term for the village?
Are there more important things right now that we should be focused on
Yeah.
versus
Well,
that?
The only reason we're looking at that building is because it's sitting there and there's nothing's been done to it. Either do we let it fall apart, because we don't really need it. I'm the first to say, we don't hardly need
The
that
building is dry, it's not leaking,
It's stone dry, the walls are great, so
it's just looking rough.
it looks rough on the outside.
Yeah.
But if we wanted to put that and maybe get a cement slab in and make a lean-to, put the roof on, in another year close it in or something,
To me, that's a better.
Are you talking at Whistle Stop?
that Whistle Stop out the back.
To me, that's a better move long-term, because now we're spending money where we are, and we're seeing it,
Well,
and
Here's the other
we're
side.
removing a liability too.
We could spend 10,000 over there, and next year I'm gonna come to you and say we not
Well,
add on over
I
here.
already heard that, Amos.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I already
Yeah.
put that together, but I'd like,
It's so unfortunate. I walked through that
Did you?
building too, and it would be a perfect, but
Yeah,
it
it's a
just
nice
doesn't-
little
it doesn't
building, you
work.
hate to
I was
let it
hoping
go.
it looked crappier than it was.
Well, that would be much easier to be said. Them walls look like you
Perfect
built
floor,
it.
it's a perfect floor in it, yeah.
It looks like you built it 2 years ago
yeah.
on the inside.
That cement held up amazing.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, I'm just
Yeah.
saying I'm more for spending money where our bodies are.
yeah,
So we're not running around
yeah.
and we got our.
Lean-to for 10, 11
Well, I don't
grand?
think you'll do it for that
I
money,
don't know,
but,
we just did a 30 by 50 and clothes was meant for 50 grand, so it ain't way off, you know what I
Right.
mean? And even if you
We
spend,
could-
even if you spent a little bit more, the The argument
long
here
distance.
is, is the village better off with a nice new building where we're not ever seeing it and we're spending money driving back and forth to it? Or keeping it central? That's,
Keep it central.
I'm not saying it's cheaper, Marty.
I
would love to know the homework.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any
Yeah.
of
But
this.
I would move that we approve this proposal, taking out the
Weingartner while we're doing the
Weingartner.
homework, yeah.
and then
Put
just,
that money towards
well,
over here.
work on a.
Maybe we come back and do it, Amos. But
Well-
I would love to know what's a lean-to take, you know,
Yeah.
and how much do
Well,
we
we
need
can
to
get
do or
some
don't do.
prices
I
on
mean,
all that.
that's a big
I
building
would
over
work,
there.
I would
so-
rather work towards that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's
That'll save
healthier.
me coming here next year and begging you to fix, now we gotta add on here,
There you go.
okay?
Okay, so his motion is for the Whistle Stop proposal for complete roofing and the Bicentennial Park concession building for throughout, and remove the 3 Weiniger projects.
Is that a motion? That yours?
That's what Scott's
That was
motion
Scott.
was.
Scott's motion?
Second.
Okay, that's the steel roof on the pavilion?
Yep.
You wanna do?
I could go both ways on
It's
that.
for looks. I can live with a 30-year shingle
You'll
roof.
get your money back out
You
of
know
long
what,
distance.
30 years clicks by,
Huh?
30 years clicks by,
Yeah,
you know, in a standing seam steel roof.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It's
getting called to
probably,
re-roof homes I built years ago, so it does go by.
yeah.
does go by.
It's beyond what I'm gonna worry about.
We can do a,
I figure at my age, all we gotta do is shingle it, Amos, so.
Yeah, I agree with that,
how
but,
about we for once do our kids a favor?
yeah, yeah.
I think the metal
Well,
roof, so I just assumed it was a metal roof, so
Yeah. Okay,
it matches.
so metal roof over there, fix a concession stand, and we'll work on that.
Peg, you never
What we
did tell
can
me
do.
what our guest number was, but
You guys were talking, so I
it's
didn't,
all
yeah.
good.
What our what number?
We're fine, because,
Okay. It's
the,
close?
yeah, for the Whistle Stop, it was the 16.5 when we only had armored, and it came in then at 13,450.
Yeah.
And then Bicentennial was at 5 because we didn't have one, and now
Perfect.
it's come in at 4,600,
Good.
so.
It's just
Yep.
nice to know we're in
We're in
balancing.
the
it.
Yeah.
ballpark, so, yeah. So we got motion and support, don't we?
Yep.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. So we're going to public comment. If anybody wants to ask us anything, or suggestions, or comments, or we'll give you 3 minutes. Hi.
Good to see you all again. And I want to thank Waleed from Fox 17 for being here. And if you didn't know, he is doing a 2-3 week report on the dog park. You know, a year ago, when we left,
To sign in.
I will.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, can you sign in too?
I will.
Okay.
But a year ago, when we left, we were all kind of excited and juiced because we thought, y'all kind of got it, that we really liked the dog park and the dog park was necessary. And we thought either we'd get some improvements to the current dog park. You talked about 92nd Street. You talked about moving it at Whistle Stop. We see nothing outside of some white rocks. And in the meantime, God bless pickleball players. We've seen a $380,000 pickleball court at Bicentennial. We've seen a lot of new fences at baseball stadiums. But we're just kind of like, could y'all do $10,000 into the dog park? Maybe do a decent turf, maybe replace some fences? Right now, I'm very worried that some dogs could break their legs in the dog park. I'm really worried about that. And so I understand something might be happening May 11, and Waleed plans to be back to do a report. But again, all the dog park users are just wondering, whatever happened to some of the promised upgrades? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Your rec commission meeting.
Oh.
Long time no talk, guys.
You lost a bridge, didn't you?
Yeah, things are going downhill over there.
Well, it's because I turned it in. We've been watching it, and finally just seeing all of the semis going over and everything, it was just scary. But that's one of the things I'm coming to you guys about. I've already turned it into the committee, taken pictures of it. But Montgomery just seems to think we're just gonna move the signs and continue to use it. They're still using it. They move the closed signs and still drive over it.
The county is in the process of permanently barricading
It is permanently barricaded. You mean with like cement barriers?
Well, Peg and I were informed last week in a meeting
Yeah.
that they
Eric
can't
was
just
they
do
were
it
working.
overnight. It
Yeah,
just
no, I
happened.
talked to the Kent County Road Commission. I talked to the guys that come out
I
and
think
they,
they're gonna be putting pilings in the ground until they get their engineering done and the culverts built and to rebuild it.
yeah, because they said it was gonna take time to build that culvert. So,
they-
but in the meantime, they still should not be driving over it.
They shouldn't. They're at
But they're
risk.
letting themselves, I got multiple videos of them letting themselves over. Finally, I keep moving them back over because some of the neighbors decided they felt
We
it was.
don't control that, the
No.
county does.
That's the
You
county.
know?
So just turn it into the county, you think?
Yeah, oh,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what, I mean, that's what Calvin did. He already
Yeah.
let Eric know what was going on.
Okay, okay. So there was that. Then the other thing, they were working at 10 p.m. the other night. 10 p.m.
You know what they were doing or not?
No, they were backing down with it was big equipment because you can hear the beeping and everything. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
10 p.m. is a little too late. I
Not
don't
to-
know what
not
it
to
was.
defend them, but
Yeah.
I saw them unloading pipe on Byron Byron Avenue late at night. And I think that's what that might be, is the shipments of pipe coming in.
Come in,
Come in
long-term
late.
distance. and-
Because that pipe is getting drop shipped here, so it could be coming from Tennessee or Arkansas, and then the trucker rolls in at 9 o'clock at night. Has to be
So
unloaded.
it might be a one-time thing.
So
that
it could
this
be
happens.
potentially.
It's a one-time.
Potentially, if
could
it's a
be.
one-time thing, great.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is generator blaring and beeping for almost 2 days over the weekend. The closest one to the creek. So
Is
closest
what?
one to my
It's
house.
Beeping?
Beeping, light blinking, everything.
So it's not a noise thing on the generator, it's the warning sound on it.
Yeah, not that I like the generator noise because they switched over to the diesel from the electric because I gotta pump it faster.
Is
Is
there
what it
an
is.
email set up where these go to that
There's emails
Yeah,
out there.
because it's Don.
Don's email?
Okay.
So he can report them into, and
Yeah.
that's in that letter that went out?
Yeah.
I'm just encouraging, because that might get a faster response than wait 2 weeks to come here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
right.
it's fine. We are doing,
It's all
what we're
done.
doing, we're turning committee and just making you guys aware of it as well.
All right.
So that completely, yeah, 100% not a
It's
problem.
probably for you, it's probably more effective to talk to Don
Okay.
than to tell us, because then we,
Or after the fact, so
you know,
much.
Peggy or somebody.
We just wanted on record that we are.
I
Yeah.
think to her point, she is letting Don know, but she
Yeah.
also wants to
Yeah.
make sure that we're
Yep.
aware.
Yeah.
So
And just putting that
as
on
long-
record, that's all I'm
As long
doing.
as you like preface that, like, hey,
Yes.
I've already let Don
Yep.
know, but I just want you guys
Yeah,
to
I'm
be
just
aware. I
letting you
think
guys
that's
aware of
so
it. I understand, yeah.
Yep.
Robert and Kelvin report back to us.
Oh, yeah.
All
Yeah.
the
A
time.
lot of emails.
Yep.
A lot of emails, a lot
It's
of.
all good, yeah.
Well, because Calvin hears from me almost daily, so
Yeah, yeah, it's all good.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, no other further.
Can I ask about the 11th? Is that going on? My general.
It's gonna come up in member comments.
Sorry?
I think it's gonna come up in member comments by me, so.
Yeah, we'll address that.
yeah.
We got that.
The general question, why has nothing been done with it?
Okay. Peggy, you got anything?
I do have the email that I sent with the board packet to talk about the
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
situation. So just for privacy, we won't give out names or
Right.
addresses. But you could see from the packet here, I'll pass more copies down.
Yeah.
This is an ordinance violation.
But the guy that's complaining won't file a report.
Correct.
This has been an
The pretty-
ongoing.
It started back in '23, but
Here's
then
the
it
thing.
got better.
My questions are,
and then
there's
it-
nothing dangerous here happening,
No,
right?
correct.
It's just messier than he likes.
And then-
We probably have another 50 of them. But there's hundreds more too.
Hundreds more what?
Well, but in this
That you could say
particular,
are non-compliant because they have something sitting in their yard.
but in this particular one, I think it's, from what I was reading earlier, correct me if I'm wrong, this has been an ongoing issue where there's been multiple visits by.
Yeah.
Well, it's because of an old system and a new system.
Yeah,
Right.
but it
Now,
gets better.
the
Things,
concern
like,
is-
it gets bad, then it gets better. Then it comes back, then it gets better, so.
So, my understanding is the concern is we can't have a complaint because they don't wanna file a complaint,
Right,
correct? So that's our biggest issue.
right.
I was
That we
thinking
have to
about this.
decide.
What if Jay and I filed a complaint? We're residents.
We can't.
The
Why
board
can't-
can't
what?
We
do it.
recused ourselves from filing complaints.
Oh, yeah, that's right, we did. Shoot, I thought I had
And
that figured out.
I struggle with this, because it's not a danger thing, and if the board wants to vote on this, then there's 1,000 more to go out and do. I ride by a few all the time, right? They're not bothering me. It's their property, they pay the taxes on it. It's not a danger to anyone. It's not obscene, it's just, the paint ain't perfect on the house. There's 5 cars sitting around, you know? This isn't nothing like a Humber Street was.
No, then that's the thing, it's not the safety
So if the
issues that we've
neighbors
had
aren't-
in the other ones
If the
that we
neighbors aren't willing to
pursued.
file a complaint on it, then I don't move
Right.
on it.
Okay.
So,
Any other comments that I can take back?
anything else? Mike?
Nope, we have an election on Tuesday.
We get that done.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
election?
Oh, for the election? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's a big one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You got anything, Marty?
Well, yes, I'm gonna sound like Clint Eastwood and El Torino, but
I like
we gotta do something about e-bikes on the sidewalks downtown. So I was at Ailbert.
All over the place.
Yeah, but,
They're everywhere.
no, I agree with that, but it's these 12 and 13-year-old kids that are driving like 30 miles an hour up and down the sidewalk right through town. I mean, it's crazy. I sat in Ailbert Friday, and I could see right out the window, and they're just flying all over the place. And these are like fully e-bikes, not pedal-assisted ones.
Yep. Yeah, I
No
see-
helmets,
I see
which
them, but-
whatever, but to go up and down the sidewalks and they're flying by housemans and they're going, one kid flew
Bikes
right
aren't
from
even
the
supposed to be on
fire
sidewalk at
department.
all.
I don't know, so that's a question I guess I have.
That's the ML question, but I think bikes are supposed to be on a road like a car, not on a
Right.
sidewalk.
Are they allowed on the sidewalks, you know? All right.
But we could pass an ordinance, it's not like golf carts,
Yeah.
a nuisance as well. You'll see under 16 years old driving them as well, so.
What are other communities doing with this?
I don't know, I'm just saying, these kids, they don't care about anything.
Yeah, I know,
I mean, all of them just about got hit because it was from the fire department side of the street. Really, no helmet, no nothing, and a car just about hit them, and they just fly all over the place. These things go over
So
30
are
miles
other
an hour.
communities
I haven't-
enforcing
I
it?
can speak to my coworkers, but I can see if anybody else has any ordinance in place, but we
Right.
could start out with an ordinance. It
Think-
could be a civil infraction.
Knowing that there's an ordinance and knowing how effective it is important too.
Yeah, so if we were to pass an ordinance, like if we would do the e-bikes and if we would do the golf carts, because I think those are both really important, I think I definitely can pass it along to road patrol and then we can put it into our system, so we can simply just, like a normal ticket.
Yeah.
So if we see it, we cite them, and definitely the word would get around, especially with golf carts, especially with our pathways.
And you see them a lot too.
Yeah.
I've seen someone pull right into Walgreens.
They
Driving
do.
a golf
And,
cart.
and
Yeah.
family
Family
fair,
fair, I
and the
see 'em
post
every day.
office.
Yeah,
Drive up
They're
there
all
like
over.
it's a car.
yeah.
Yeah, they just treat them
So
like
it's
they're
something we
cars.
can definitely tackle.
We get e-bike complaints on the trail
Yeah.
over here going down off Burlingame.
What's the county's position on the park trails? Do you know or not?
Not off the top of my head, but I know they're not allowed. Now,
Thought there was-
enforcement wise, it's all up to everybody's township. Now, really, the only people that hit the trails is like your community policing officers. That would be me, like in Gaines Township, but when is it that we'll have time to hop on a bike versus
get on
in
the
a
trail.
cruiser?
You're gonna
Yeah.
need an e-bike.
She has one.
Well, I would need, yeah. I would need an e-bike. Actually, my 2 coworkers in Plainfield Township have e-bikes and they say sheriff on them. Yeah.
So you want an e-bike to pull over the rest of them with e-bikes? I'm
You
sure
gotta
that
violate
would
to get the
fly.
violators.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
But it's-
that's something we can discuss even further.
I think I would like to see what other local
Right, for sure.
yeah.
municipalities are doing.
We should look
How
at that.
effective it is,
How about
right?
how about we be the leader?
Yeah,
Now, we're-
Yeah, I
Right,
just
right.
don't think, I mean,
Because
I
under
still would like to
16
know
now
what's
is where
being
they're really,
enforced and how
they're
effective
all
it
over
is.
the place.
yeah. But, yeah, that's the worst, but I think if you had the ordinance, it'd be for anybody riding bikes on the side, you know.
You have
I don't know
bikes
if we
on
had
the
to
sidewalk.
specify e-bikes or whatever, but I know they're nuts with them things. They fly through the park here too, but there's not people close by them, like Main Street.
Yeah, it's
Somebody
pretty
comes out of
close.
a store, you get knocked over with one of them things.
Bikes should be on the street anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
right.
wouldn't be in favor of outlawing, putting an ordinance for bicycles because.
No.
Going
there's some
down by
areas.
No,
the
because
here,
the
there's
law-
no way.
Yeah.
The county
right.
law already states.
most
bikes
people
should
on
be
bicycles are just leisurely going
Right.
down the sidewalk. These kids are going 25, 30 miles an hour down the sidewalks
Right.
with, right, none.
You get hit at Houseman's if you're going by there right there.
Yeah.
That little drive,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not wearing a helmet, that's beyond stupid.
So it should include.
Yeah,
I hate saying it because I was a kid once and did stupid stuff, but, right?
So
It wasn't
Anyway.
electric though.
So if we had e-bikes and golf carts, not allowed
They're
on
not even
sidewalks.
e-bikes. They're,
Well, yeah, but,
They're not allowed on the county
yeah,
pass.
but we'll have to do more with golf carts.
I've seen some.
Have to
But
do more
just-
with golf carts.
Yeah,
Which are-
sidewalks,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
roads.
sidewalk,
Yeah,
that
right.
golf carts are going there.
yeah.
All right,
Anyway,
we'll work
that's all
on
I
that.
have.
They're not riding on your lawn.
No,
No.
whatever, I don't care about that,
Well,
but,
you said Clint.
no, I know, but it, same concept, I guess.
Okay. Becky, you got
No,
anything?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Huh?
Question about that?
Yeah, sure.
Considering your proposal perhaps to do an ordinance for the no e-bikes or whatnot, or restrictions, would you need to have signage posted so people would be aware of that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Invest in the signage, right? So
yeah.
Otherwise,
Well, we'd be willing to do that.
yeah, that's just a point I wanted to make.
You know, on Main Street, we'd have to work with the county to get some signs up there and along the curb or somewheres. I mean, they put no parking signs, so I think we'd make that work, but we have to get the bugs out of it and, no. Okay, you got anything else?
Yeah. Just to make a rule, though, you want to do some homework, because there's already rules that say bicycles aren't supposed to be on sidewalks. They're not enforced either, right? So it's like, how effective is it? It's not a negative to not do it, it's just like, how do you get there, and how have other communities got there? Yeah, I just was gonna bring up, I think May 11 is when we're gonna discuss, Peg and I are on a committee to get
And the,
vote forward for the parks, recreation, and walks. And maybe that's what Jack's referring to, I'm not sure.
it's the Recreation Commission meeting
Yeah,
too
Rec
that
Commission.
day.
Oh, you have a rec
Also
commission,
that.
Yeah.
we have a May 11 meeting also,
Yeah.
so separate from that,
Because
what Jack's
we
talking
will
about.
for our, we'll have a workshop on May 11th.
On that millage and
Yeah.
to get that rolling and on the docket.
And we
then that
still
would
don't own
fund
the,
the parks.
we still haven't seen the recorded deed, that's why we couldn't do anything with 92nd Street
Park
yet,
road there,
because
right. But that
we still don't
that's
have it
separate. We
recorded.
don't gotta spend
No,
that.
but he had just asked what was going on with 92nd Street, and we
Right,
don't,
okay.
we still don't have that recorded deed back yet.
And the rec committee made recommendations on the dog park. It wasn't to improve that one, so maybe that's your conversation, so. We didn't say anything other than vote to keep it open here. I don't recall, other than Amos saying we'll add stone. That's all that was said that night, so. I don't, you can go back in the minutes, but I don't believe another thing was
To
said
keep it
about
from
that
being
dog.
muddy, yeah.
Well, and I think they're looking at doing some of this artificial turf, if we could get some of that right
That
now.
could be
Right, so we would wait to see where this is going with the rec committee
Yeah.
and and the vote, right?
So once we get past that, then we have.
How's that with the neighbors? Are they,
It's awful. It's
Still awful.
Yeah.
yeah, in the
I
commercial?
don't, I just don't send you the videos.
Right.
Yeah.
And the self-policing that they promised is not happening?
No, the bus still pulls in and drops off a herd of dogs with one or two people, so.
And that was a promise that the people made, we're gonna self-police this.
But that's not the battle. And this is member.
One more thing, I'm gonna be a grandfather.
Yeah.
One more thing about one dog.
Well, this is member only comments. That's up to Amos. I'm
Yeah.
not.
What else you got, Jack?
Well, just for record's sake, I've heard this about wagon critters. Amy, I'm a good friend of Amy, and that she's always there, and she's the reason for all the noise.
at times.
I know Amy's schedule. Amy has 8 runs. She only uses whistle stop from 2:45 to 3:45 on Thursdays. That's it.
No,
And
no
so,
one's saying
but people keep saying she's the reason the dog
No,
park
no,
is so
no, no.
noisy. At least I'm sorry, that's what I
That's
hear.
not what was said. It was one of the things being abused. It says 2 dogs, right?
3
3, I'm sorry.
per person.
That's being abused, and that's a fact, and it's recorded. I'm not fighting it. You're just asking about things that we didn't commit to tonight.
It just, okay.
And Scott brought up things that
Well, then-
the audience committed to.
Can I ask, when will there be a discussion about turf?
May 11th,
Where?
probably here.
Well, we were
Their
ready.
meeting's at 4:30.
meet here, 4:30.
4:30.
At 4:30? Thank you.
Thanks.
Anything else?
No, I'm all set.
Scott?
Yeah, I have an issue that I've been bringing up for years, and that's the cost of our township engineer and our township attorney. And all of a sudden it got personal because I have an industrial project on Division. I'm getting charged $1,400 to write the resolution and review it by our attorney. I looked up, the last 6 resolutions are pretty much boilerplate. They just kind of change some of the stuff in it. So if you take that and an administrative, an attorney, which that's the level that would handle this, that's 9 hours of work that they're charging for. You cannot convince me an attorney spends 9 hours with
Why
their
would
head
all
down
that?
going over
Their
this.
assistants do it.
What's that?
I used to be paralegal. They don't. Their assistants do it. I did all the typing.
Right.
I did all the orders.
That's 9 hours, no breaks, no lunch, no nothing to do that.
They need a resolution to do that, Peggy?
It's
Attorneys
just
do
not a
resolution?
system of accountability.
They have to do a resolution for all, like the site plans, there's a resolution involved.
Right.
Sometimes there's an ordinance and a resolution.
This is just a resolution for the planning commission to
For a
approve it.
site plan.
And it's, like I said, it's boilerplate. It's the same resolution that's been used the last 6 ones that I looked up. Second of all, the engineer getting charged around $3,000 for their review. I had the whole site engineered for $9,000. Had the conversation with Jeff, zoning Jeff, and he said, yeah, that's ridiculous. That too,
Well, Don DeGroot said the same.
yeah, Don DeGroot said the same thing. You know, if they spend, let's say their rate is $150, that's 20 hours of review. That's 20 hours with an engineer sitting down, face down, reviewing this site plan.
And that's kind of been the complaint. This group doesn't write the check, the developer does.
Yeah.
There's just no accountability in the system, and I don't know how that looks. It's a raking.
Yeah, it's an absolute ripoff. And like I told these guys, I'm to the point where I'm gonna go to the mat with this on behalf
what it
of
takes.
all of the developers, all of the people, because nobody else does.
So
And
how
we're not-
What do you suggest?
I have nothing to compare it to, so what
Yeah,
I
I
would
don't
like
know
to
either.
see,
I know it's easy
what
to
do other
get rid of-
municipalities pay?
Yeah,
We say, give us an invoice, what did you spend on this? How did you?
I don't disagree. Yeah,
Right,
that
break it
seems,
down by
that seems
hour.
extreme.
Invoice, agreed.
Yes.
yeah, it can't take 9 hours.
$1,400 seems extreme to me, yes.
You should be able to hire your own attorney
I,
at that rate. That
I
would keep it competitive.
I would agree with that too, yeah. Why are we forcing our attorney to,
Right there.
yeah, no, I don't disagree,
I
Scott.
mean, it's just a cash cow for them, especially for VK. And we know they're not that good. We've seen it. I mean, we're dealing with it right now with our sewer project. We have no eco permit.
I'm not super happy with our Whistle Stop Park Pond either.
Sure.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I can tell you about that. But,
We got one on
Yeah.
Alice Drive too, and it was all VK.
It's all VK. Our parking lot out here was a mess.
pond on Alice Drive, or the sidewalk on Alice.
Well, they either didn't engineer the height of the sidewalk correct where we put the new sidewalk in, or they failed to put quantities in for dirt to bring the front yard up that sheds the water over it, but we literally trapped the water from getting to the ditch. And I was wrong, and my first comment to Peg was, there's no culverts in that road, and I'm like, how crazy of me, that's all lowland, it's all culverted down through
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
So it's just a complete miss on their part. So,
all right.
You know,
it's far
Well, I
from-
think,
How do we compare what they do to other municipalities? Is that possible?
I don't know if you can compare it. You really only can open it up to bids and try another firm. That's all you can do. It
Or
makes them
say, you know
stand
what,
accountable.
we're no longer gonna allow you to just send us a bill,
That should
you know,
be
because the
on-
bill says project review and the resolution, $1,475.
That should always be broken down. How many
Tell
hours
us
do
how
we
many
spend at
hours you
what
have
rate?
into it.
And at what rate?
And what's the rate, correct?
Because there's different rates.
Same thing with VK. You know, and we already know that one of our staff people have been catching them, screwing us. And it took this long for a staff person to just catch on.
yeah, what was that Angie in? I think they got that straightened out.
Well, what
What
it
that
is they
was.
review every bill that comes through here now. And every bill that comes through here
Right.
should be reviewed.
Right,
But, you know, Peg can't do it.
right.
So,
But what they thought was an issue, I think it ended up coming out that it did make sense, but yeah, I
there
agree
was
with
more
that.
than,
that
there
we
was
got-
more than that rate. No, that's not true. He was logged in a meeting that our group of people were at the same meeting and they were
Yeah.
there longer than us.
Right,
So that was completely billed wrong.
yeah.
We're defending something that's not right there.
Yeah.
You should get an itemized bill for every time they bill you for who's doing it, how long and what it's for.
Absolutely.
And maybe that's,
Every business in the world itemized their invoices.
as a village, we can demand that, can't we?
Well, I
Everybody
would
should
sure
be
think
itemized.
so.
Why not?
We're sending them big checks, we ought to be able to tell them what we want.
I mean, we're sending
BKs are itemized.
$30,000 a month down there.
BKs are itemized.
You know, we finally got Jeff off our board. You know, our BGA board. I'm like, I can't believe this was happening. We've got our contract attorney, engineer, on our water sewer board, making decisions. I mean,
That wasn't the choice. In personality, the right person, it could work. So it just wasn't the right role for the right.
so anyway, that, and second of all, we had a BGA mini meeting last month. Thoroughly impressed. I just thought the committee was great. The
You got
new
a good hire, huh?
director is
he's
fantastic.
good.
Whoever was involved in that hire knocked it out of the park. I think
You go,
he's,
Peg.
he's fabulous. So,
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it took a while
some of
to
the
get
things
there.
that he's doing, implementing day one, has been amazing. So I think we're gonna finally see some accountability there, and I think my complaint against that is that they never had a public servant heart over there, and they are gonna have that. So,
Well, I don't think anybody's watching finances very well either. You know, because what Bill is finding is, you know,
completely,
he's getting that straightened
yeah.
out.
So, those are my two things.
Okay. Do you want to hear about the pond in the park or not?
Wow.
I already told Scott.
You got a, just, you have a plan to go forward. I mean, is it from the new development or?
Oh, yeah, it's all from that. The county, well, I called Ken Yonker, the drain commissioner, he's supposed to call me back, set up a time to come out here. It started with the drain commissioner that the water has to come through our park, into our pond, to the county drain. All right? He said that's
We're told that
natural
pipe was
flow.
engineered for it.
Yeah, the pipe was engineered for it. We got the condos hooked up. The condo water, of course, you could drink that because that's all developed. There's no dirt, no nothing. That never bothered. You can't even tell we get water from the condo. The day after they hooked this thing up and it rained, the whole pond went to mud, you know, all turned brown. You know,
That makes sense, because the ground ain't stable yet.
well, they tore that whole place up, you know, however many acres they got there, if it's 12, 15 acres, whatever that parcel is. Plowed up the whole thing and developed the whole thing because they want to put a house here and then one over here and then one over there and one back there. Usually they do in phases, and then the rest of it you leave alone. Well, these guys being two of them in it, okay, well, I want these, I'll take these. Everybody tore it all to
There's
pieces.
two phases yet. There has always been 2 phases.
I don't know if there's 2 phases, but anyway,
Yeah.
they got the whole thing tore to pieces. So, that mud all goes into that holding pond. They got 2 holding ponds as big, not quite as big as this room, but almost. Well, it don't hold anything because they put the drains right at the bottom. And so it comes right to our park. So our whole pond is all wrecked.
Is that pond in their development dry right after the rain's done?
Within a little while, it is. It's restricted somewhat. Now, when we had that hard rain the other day, I was really surprised. There's a big cement culvert
Right,
with
an
holes in
overflow on
it.
top, yeah.
Okay, with the holes in it that goes to the bottom. That's the first drain.
Yep.
Then there's a pipe sticking out the side, like a pretty good sized pipe sticks out to the east. And then up here, there's a cement culvert thing with a grate on it.
Right.
And then up here is another one. Well, I told them close off them bottom ones and let them hold their own water. But nobody will do that because, oh no, it's natural flow and all this crap. Well, Brian the other day said, I want to show you something. So we drove me back there on the golf cart. The drain here, the one out the side, the next one up is a big cement one with a grate on it. That was all full of sticks and grass and crap.
Because
The dirt got that, the water got that high.
Yeah, because we probably had the 100-year rain.
Yeah.
That last Saturday.
Yeah. So we would have took that anyways.
Right.
All right.
They're
And
engineered
we
for
were
50.
promised, here's another thing, we were promised, sitting in my office, that all this was gonna be was overflow. All right?
Who
Well,
promised that?
It is. You got a big rain.
Well, overflow, all it does is get in that pond, goes directly to us.
If the drain's on the bottom of the pond's engineered wrong.
It's at the bottom, that's what the outlets
Is it
are.
a little drain?
There's holes,
Usually it's a very restricted drain at the
there's holes
bottom.
like this in that cement thing,
Right.
and there's a bunch of them.
It's supposed to be smaller.
So it's
but it is-
restricted
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more
to an
precise.
extent.
Right.
So it holds it back some, because the other day with that rain, it got way up to here, and then it didn't go no farther because that big thing could handle it, what come, you know, and it didn't go no higher than that. So we would take that, the overflow. Because when Ken Yonker explained to me what they was doing, I said, we don't need their water. Because we got our own pump, we can pump water into the pond. I said, we don't need their water. Well, he says, it's natural flow. He says, you don't have
Right,
an
you
option.
can't stop the natural flow.
Right.
So he says, you gotta take it. Well, since they'd hooked it up, our pond has been all like chocolate milk. And it don't settle out, you know. I took a bottle of it, a clear bottle.
But we've had a I'm not defending Eastbrook in any way,
Right.
but we've had an insanely wet spring.
But Jay, it was like that before the heavy rain
Before the
started
heavy
coming.
rain.
Yeah, it's been brown way
Yeah.
before
Yeah,
that.
all they
I
had to
feel
do,
it's gonna be brown until they're done developing.
a year and a half probably. You know, so at first we had 1/2 inch rains. Well, that turned our pond brown already, just from that. Well, now we get these
Because
heavy
there's
rains.
no stabilization over there yet.
No, there is not.
Is the detention pond even green yet?
No.
The sides are. The sides are getting green.
Yeah.
But the bottom of it, you know, maybe, from here to here, you know,
And yonder
stays
should be
water.
looking, are the silt sacks
I
in the
tried,
street?
no, they got them out. But now
Well,
the other
can they have
day,
them out? The whole site's still wide open dirt.
I don't know.
We
I
have
don't
to, we
know.
leave them in until we're done
Yeah.
building every home in the development.
Yeah, well, that's what it ought to be, so they hold on.
Well, it should be. The
As
drain
far as I
commissioner
know, them
enforces
things
that.
are all out. But Peggy come from lunch the other day, come through there, and there was 3 county trucks there, pickups, you know, guys. So I started with Ken Yonker, and then I went to soil erosion at the county. And soil erosion come out there, and Kyler, he looked at it, and then he come over to our pond, and he stood by the pond. He said, this thing is 100% unacceptable. He says, there's no silt that's supposed to leave that site.
Right, that's why silt sacks should be in those roads.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's gotten, now, this was 3 weeks ago, we met over there with their engineer. So he gave them a week, you know, you gotta get this done. And they're gonna put in these flog rocks or flog rolls, or I don't know what that means. Something in there is supposed to catch the silt. And Randy from Benlage says that we had a lot more in here to hold the silt, and someone from the Drain Commission says you can't do that, you're holding back too much water. So we had to pull it all out. Now, I run that by Ken Yonker, and he says nobody from the Drain Commission would tell him that. Well, Tyler's got the email from the county that says that, and C&L Trucking's got the thing from the county that says you gotta take this out. So I talked to Kyler today, and they have fined him $2,500. Last week, they got given $2,500 fine for silt leaving the site. So he says that gives them 5 more days. So he says the 5 days was up, I was there today, and nothing has been done. So,
Stop building permits.
well, when he left me off the phone, that was about 2 o'clock. He says, I'm going from this call, and he said, I stopped and answered the phone. But he said, I'm going to my boss and see what they want to do. The next fine's $10,000.
We can implement our own.
Well, we can
If
stop.
we're being told that the silt should be leaving there at the rate it's leaving there, then just send a letter. There will be no building permits issued, and that's bigger than any fine you
Oh,
can
yeah.
write.
Yeah.
For sure.
Until this is.
Or inspections stopped.
That too. Because they can't move on.
You're
unless
out
they-
of compliance. I draw
So-
that line.
Yeah.
So
There's our.
even if we did that,
There's our level.
For sure.
if they say, okay, we'll stop the building, how do you get that silt
They
and
have to-
crap out of
they
this
have to fix
water?
it.
I
This
just
shouldn't be our
explained that.
problem.
Every catch basin we have in a development has a silt sack in it. And the first thing I hear in the spring is the residents calling, hey, our road is flooding,
Yeah,
because it's supposed to.
okay.
And we go and we pull them silt sacks and we clean them out, or if they're bad, we put new ones in. And every time, you know, it's going to collect, it's going to build up on the street, and then it's going to release slowly. That's what a silt sack does.
Right.
It's collecting silt. But what happens is, you ride through there in a storm, and if it's raining and that catch basin's empty, they've took
It
their
does-
rod and poked a hole right in the bottom of that silt fence,
Okay.
that silt sack.
Did you ever notice, is there water stands in that road
You
ever?
can't,
or
no,
not?
no, it's,
No, but I mean, when it was raining, you come through the.
every
car.
catch basin
every
should have
day.
water
Yeah.
sitting around it, if the
Yeah.
silt sack is in place.
There's
Mostly-
not.
most
I didn't never
there's
notice
not-
water standing.
There's
Pull the
not
lid and
water
they fall
standing.
because there's 400 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well-
They are something, a maintenance thing, and we don't get released from that. The Drain Commissioner runs that. We have one going in Caledonia right now. We will not be released from that until every yard is seeded in that development,
Yeah,
the entire development.
so that's the way it's supposed to work. So Kyler told me that, you know, he says, I'm holding a permit. So he says, they ain't gonna get away with this. But in the meantime, that doesn't help our pond. Now the
Well, that
fish are
pond's gonna
dying.
be a mess for a long time.
That's gonna be a mess
This
for
year,
a
that
long
pond
time.
is not gonna be pretty.
Yeah.
So,
They can't correct it fast enough, but you
Yeah.
can enforce what's, in fact, I'm recommending you
Okay.
cease all building permits.
I would.
all right.
There you go.
I'll
I'm
go-
making a motion.
That's
I'm
a-
gonna
that's
make
our
a motion
leverage.
so I don't have to worry about it.
I'm gonna go tomorrow morning and look, see if them drains are open or not. If there's
I'm making a
silt.
motion, we cease building permits until they're in full compliance.
I'll support.
Yeah, motion and support. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody
Just
opposed?
for reference, our small excavating crew is dispatched immediately when we get that call to put that battle out, because you can't have a bigger, more frustrated client. Not your client, the people around your client.
Yeah,
And you're the one receiving the
we're
problem.
getting all the crap.
So, and we're just a little player.
You know,
They're
it'd be
big
one
players.
thing if they were out there busting their
Try.
butt trying to fix it.
Well,
We'd work with
Tyler
them.
told me that, well, a few weeks ago, Ray told me, so he says, I'll give him 5 days. So he says, the best way to get fined, he says, if I tell you what to do and you do nothing. He says that's the best way to get fined.
I was
got
pretty
fined.
strong on that. I'm surprised they rolled that far, but the
Oh,
minute
they
you
rolled
heard,
and rolled.
the minute we heard nothing was done, then we draw our own rules around this, and because we have a park here. But I would do the same thing if there was a neighbor's developments and the neighbors were sitting here upset. It's not just because we have the park, we just happen
Right.
to be the recipient of the mess, but someone downstream is getting it, that development, profit center is putting a burden on someone else, it stops now. And you'll be surprised how fast they'll get grass grower on there and silt sacks in place. Yeah, I'm sure nothing, we're supposed to seed all the open areas too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, it's been a long winter, it's been a rough spring, you can't expect that to be done yet, that's why I said this summer is crap. Yet Pond will not look good this summer.
No, I know that.
But by July, you ought to be able to say there's grass growing on every lot not being worked on, and they build so fast, they get away with not doing it, but they should be seeding
Yeah.
everything in the washways, everything. We seed all the way to the street, Buffum did it.
Yeah.
A power company comes back through and makes a mess out of it later, but it's still mostly seeded.
Well, you know, they talked about that, you know, Yonker says, well, he says at the end, he says, we'll make them dredge out your pond and fix all that. Well, I said, that ain't so easy as it sounds. Now, I don't know how long a stick you can get, you know.
Oh, there's
dredge-
sticks that can reach 3/4 of the way across that pond.
There is,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
but you have to be up on the top, so you be on the walking path. I mean, it's gonna wreck everything. So you dump it.
Your only leverage is that Eastbrook wants to do another development. Because once that one's done, you got no weight on them, you know, what do you
Right.
sue them in court? I mean, that just,
Yeah.
it's really easy conversation. Your permits are ceased. And by the way, you want to be developers in this town, this gets cleaned up fast. You actually have more power than the drain commissioner, as a board. You just got to be willing to implement the power.
All right,
The road commission was out there again today, too.
all right.
Because their profit center is here.
And they're all sold. I mean, all those houses, there's no
I
specs.
can't believe how fast that thing's going.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
specs, they're
yeah, they
already
don't
sold.
go Fast.
Well, they'll all be running now.
All right, that's all I got. Nothing else before the board?